Hello. Today I wanted to talk about the tools I use when I give distant Reiki. And what I use, it really depends on how I'm feeling at that moment and where I'm located. Of course, one of the most common ones is the popular Reiki doll. This one happens to have the chakras doll. You don't need to have the chakras doll. You don't need a fancy doll. They vary in sizes too. You find whatever works for you. You can make your own doll. I'm a very visual person, and this is just a size where I can work on it in a table on the floor where I'm on mat, and it just allows me to move my hand as I'm scanning and giving Reiki to the different parts of the body. It just helps me visualize. So you can just create your own. For dogs, I just have this plush. I did purchase this one. I like this one because the head is like plastic, so it's mold. And it just helps me support a little bit my hands as I'm doing Reiki, to distant Reiki. I have one for horses too. This one I got as a gift in a convention that I went. You don't need different dolls. This just happens to be my preference, and some kind of just like fell on my hand. You don't need a doll at all. You can literally also just use a teddy. You don't need anything fancy. The other thing you can also use, you can make in your computer or find it online, a drawing of the human body front and back, and you can add the chakras to it, and you can find them online already with the chakras, and print it and use that one too. Or I've seen something pretty cool, which is people get pieces of cloth, different sizes, and they'll draw it with a marker. They do some arts and craft a little bit with a marker, draw the figure of a human, and they can draw also the chakras, and they can add other stuff to it, like glitter and everything, whatever makes you happy and comfortable. You make it your own. That's the most important thing. Make it your own. That's going to be your treasure, and that's going to be your tools. Other things is I simply sometimes just grab a paper, write the name, put it between my hands, and send Reiki. That's another tool I use. My pendulum, I still use it. I use it when I'm given directly to Reiki, but distance Reiki, I use it when I'm scanning the chakras at the beginning and at the end. If I'm just doing biosen scanning, I just use my hand. I don't treat the chakras directly. That's just a personal choice. I treat the body and the areas of the body, but this is just like a confirmation. So at the beginning of the session, I can scan. I don't always use it, but I can scan, and it will tell me which chakras are not aligned. And at the end, I like to scan it too and see how everything just come into alignment. It's just a confirmation for me. You don't have to do it. It's just a confirmation that just kind of helps me feel better at that point. But you use what you want to use, and what you need at any particular time. It really just depends on the situation. The position of the hands, this is the standard position of the hand to send distant Reiki. However, I understand that your shoulders, your arms can get tired. Mine do all the time too. So you can just literally put the palms on your head up and offer Reiki. I'll put it like in my lap and offer Reiki that way. And if at any moment I feel I'm visualizing and I feel that I need to move my hand and do some other things with energy, I'll move my hands. But that allows me to work for a longer period of time and being comfortable. It's very important for you to be comfortable when you're giving Reiki and not have many distractions. You have to be in that state of mind. It just really helps out. That's why I've always emphasized use what works for you, and don't worry too much of having to do everything perfect, or I skipped this step, because those are just distractions in your mind, and that just blocks you. Really, it pulls you away from what you're doing. Just follow your intuition, follow your heart, and the more you practice, the more you'll figure out what works for you and what doesn't. And sometimes what works for some particular clients don't work with others. It's just that intuition as you're working with each individual. So there's not a specific recipe that works for all in my being. Just follow your intuition and your heart.